Hey yo, what's up everybody? Welcome into the den. Appreciate you coming over here to hang out with me, man. If you're watching on video on YouTube, appreciate you. Thank you very much for that. Or if you're listening to the brand new after a number of years for me back to audio, I am releasing audio versions of this show as well. Did it last week finally for my favorite films of 2025. You have checked that out. Please go check that out for me. It's also in video format as well. I'm gonna do that for both things here, but you can see the list of the video format on wherever you listen to your podcast and all that stuff. It's out there, man. But appreciate you coming over here. And what we're going to be doing on this episode is talking about films in 2026, the movie experience of 2026. What are we looking forward to? So if you can please drop some comments in the comment section, of course, the films you're looking forward to in 2026, that would be awesome, man. But I'm going to give you a list of films that I wrote down that I am very highly anticipating, and some, that I am intrigued to throughout the year. There's films that can come out of nowhere that's happened for me the last several years, be it Tick Tick Boom or be it last year with Begonia and The Long Walk and stuff like that, that I just really was captivated by. So I can't wait to see what this year brings in. Will we get a movie like Sinners that comes out of nowhere and just captivates the world as well? K-pop Demon Hunters, huge movie for a lot of people last year in 2025. We're going to talk about some films that have me interested, man. And again, please drop yours in the comments below. See what we're looking forward to. Movie popcorn buckets. What are those going to be like in 2026, man? Those things were huge the last couple of years. Kind of seemed, talked to my buddy about this. Kind of seems like they fell off a little bit last year in 2025 after Fantastic Four, which had like four popcorn buckets, especially popcorn buckets, which fitting, of course. But obviously, it was led by that massive Galactus one that they put out. It was like $80 or whatever. After that, yeah, they did seem to kind of fall out. Like I vaguely remember an Annabelle one that I think was around the time The Conjuring came out. I don't know why, but I believe it was. Um, there was an Anaconda one that I saw roaming around on TikTok and all that stuff, and I'm sure Wicked had one. But for the most part, it seems like they kind of fell off at the end of 2025. So are they going to be a big thing in 2026? We got to speculate what movies they'll be about, if they have a popcorn bucket or not, and all that stuff. Do you have popcorn buckets? I've got a couple, but those Chucky ones back there, those are from Halloween Horror Nights, and those are collectible items. And the eyes light up red, and the head moves back and forth, and the eyes blink when it talks, and all that stuff. And each one has three different phrases it says. And I'm a massive Chucky fan, so I had to get that. And then this one behind me, you can kind of see shadowy figure over there. That's the Beetlejuice one that was released with Beetlejuice. When that movie came out, and I waited a long time before I got that one. That one was in my theater for a while, and then it was finally marked down. I want to say it was in my theater for over a year, and it was finally marked down to like 12 or $15. I was like, all right, whatever, finally I'll get it. So that's the other thing. Like I remember that being in my theater for a long time. I don't know if you had the same experience, but a lot of these popcorn buckets kind of hung around for a while. So that one was in my theater for a long time. The Moana one was in my theater for a long time. The Mufasa one was in my theater for a long time. There were several other ones that were in there for a while. So again, what are popcorn buckets going to look like in 2026? That's an interesting question for sure, man. But without further ado, talking about popcorn buckets right off the rip, man. Hey, what's your favorite popcorn bucket? Put it in the comments down below. But without further ado, let's talk about some movies that are releasing in 2026 that either you're highly anticipating or definitely intrigued in, man. I'm kicking off with a film I'm highly anticipating, which is a shocker for people who know me very well, for me to put this movie as the most anticipated film of 2026 for me. But going with Avengers Doomsday, man. Doomsday, I think there's so many questions about that movie and just trying to figure out exactly how it's all going to work out, and how Robert Downey Jr., who we've known as Iron Man and Tony Stark for so long in that universe, to now be coming into this world as Victor Von Doom, and then the Doctor Doom persona and all that stuff is like, how's that going to work out? How's it going to fit? We've seen some teasers drop with I mean, it's out there, so it's not necessarily a spoiler. So if you haven't seen the teasers, I apologize. But Steve Rogers, we see that that's being teased. We got some teasers of Thor and his child and all that stuff from the last Thor movie. There's an X-Men teaser that's come out with Cyclops looking awesome. You got the big giant walking behind him as well, Sentinel, I assume that is. And it's just so many questions about the movie. So that anticipation is building. The bad thing about that movie, doesn't come out till freaking December, right? So we had to wait all of 2026 until we get to this moment. But I think for a lot of people, that's a highly anticipated film, and for me as well. I just want to see how they do that, how it's going to all work out, and how it's going to lead into the Secret Wars movie they have after it. Other than that, of course, very highly anticipating Supergirl. I'm a huge DC fan. I loved Superman last year, and getting the little piece of um, Supergirl in that movie that we got and seeing her character seems fun. And we've gotten a teaser trailer for that movie already. I assume we'll get some more around like maybe the Super Bowl or whatever with that one. but I'm into it. I like the character. It looks like it's gonna be a fun movie. Can't wait to see what they end up doing with that. One more comic book movie, Spider Man. Interested to see what this is. I don't remember the tagline after it. I keep wanting to say Beyond the Spider Verse, but that is obviously not this. It's something. But I'm anticipating that movie as well. I like Spider Man. Spider Man's one of my favorite Marvel characters, and I just want to see where that all goes into tying up where we left that character and how it will bridge out and the effects of what happened there and how it's going to build out throughout that movie. And as well, it comes out before Doomsday. So how will it tie in or will it not tie into Doomsday? You think it would at some point, but they're also releasing Avengers Endgame again this year in theaters before Doomsday, which is rumored to have a special credit scene that builds into Doomsday. So there's so much going on there, man. So the comic book world's got some interesting pockets of films coming out, and it's smaller than it normally is. Like normally we have a lot of comic book movies releasing. Last year we had four, one DC, three Marvels. This year we have technically kind of the same, three Marvels with the Endgame re-release, and then DC Supergirl. But I like it. I like it being more compact and not overly indulging us and putting a bunch of content on us, letting us kind of build and take in and develop and think about what they just did and where it could go and all that stuff. So I'm excited about that. But other than comic book movies, let's look in here as I pull up my list. Um, some horror stuff going on here. Ready or Not 2. Loved the first one. Can't wait to see how that all unfolds. And you bring in the lovely scream queen of Catherine Newton in there to team up with Samara Weaving. Come on, man. What else do you need? That's going to be awesome for sure. Super Mario Galaxy. Loved the first Super Mario film. I'm very highly anticipating that Galaxy movie. I've seen the trailer for that one, teaser trailer they released for that one a couple times. Looks like it's gonna be another good, fun movie there, and probably that one, right? So let's go back. We were talking popcorn buckets. Doomsday's got to have one, but that's not till the end of December. You would expect Spider-Man to have one. You expect Supergirl to have one. Maybe they re-release something with Endgame. We shall see with that and see how all that works out. I don't know. Ready or Not 2, I have no idea what that would be. They did a popcorn bucket for it. Super Mario Galaxy, probably something there. This next one, Michael, the biopic for Michael Jackson that's supposed to be coming out in 2026, where his nephew, Jafar, if I'm correct, I think I'm correct, Jafar is playing Michael in this movie. Um, Michael Jackson, one of the biggest entertainers of all time, and he's of course getting a biopic. We've seen these biopics for the last several years, be it Elvis, the Queen one, um, the Elton John one. Timothy Chalamet just did one. There's another one that just came out. There's like a Bruce Springsteen one that just came out. There's a lot of them. They're doing a lot of these biopics now, and obviously, now we're getting to Michael Jackson with this one. That movie should be good by all means, especially getting his family to play him in that movie is definitely gonna be interesting. Scary Movie 6. We're finally getting another Scary Movie film with the team. Looks like a lot of the original cast is returning for this, man. It's going to be fun. Can't wait to see what they build off of there, see what kind of fun gimmicks they can get into with that movie and how it could, play off of the other horror movies we've had recently and all that stuff. Can't wait to see how they do that. Those are always a hoot and a holler, if you will. So can't wait to see how that unfolds. Straight up horror movie here, Evil Dead Burn. That's releasing in 2026. That one's gonna be, those Evil Dead movies are freaking brutal, man. And the last one we got, Evil Dead Rise, that came out a couple years ago, that was insane as well. So I can't wait to see how they turn this one up and make it work out and all that stuff. It could be very good. I lied to you about comic book movies. Clayface is also coming out this year, so I was wrong. There's two DC things coming out this year. Clayface going into body horror type of film from DC. James Gunn said that his plan with the DCU is to make a bunch of to have all their products feel like different kind of movies, and this is obviously very different than what we've gotten so far with the DCU. We've gotten a little tease of Clayface with like the Creature Commandos show, but I don't know how much this movie will play into that show and all that stuff. But Clayface is releasing in 2026. Is it a DCU or is it a? I think it's DCU. I can't remember if this is DCU or um, Elseworlds. Let's check it out. Is the Clayface movie DCU or Elseworlds? It would help if I knew how to spell words. Let's see. According to Gorgle, according to Google, the Clayface movie is officially part of the new DCU universe, not Matt Reeves' separate Elseworlds Batman universe, despite his original development within Reeves' world. Lingering connections. James Gunn, co-CEO of DC Studios, confirmed its place in the main DCU canon, with director James Watkins and writer Mike Flanagan leading the project. So there you go. Clayface is DCU, man. Can't wait to see what they do with that. That's going to be an interesting film, to say the least. If I can pull my list back up, that'd be great. Okay. The Hunger Games. We got another Hunger Games movie coming out in 2026. That should have a popcorn bucket as well, man. I enjoy this franchise. I've enjoyed that universe, the Hunger Games. Now, it's one of those universes that I enjoyed but haven't gone back to watch the original movies in quite some time. But I did love it, and I especially loved that last Hunger Games movie. You got the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes with the amazing soundtrack that I've listened to several times and all that stuff. So can't wait to see where they do with the Hunger Games Sunrise of the Reaping. That movie has a fantastic cast attached to it. Great casting going on there. So can't wait to see what they pull out with that. Coyote versus Acme is finally actually releasing. They're finally getting that out there. This is, I believe, the concept of this movie, if I remember correctly, is Coyotes suing Acme. That's where you get the Coyote versus Acme stuff. Because if you follow along with the Looney Tunes and all that stuff, Acme things have always ended up hurting Coyote throughout the Coyote stuff, and that sounds like a fun film. I like law movies, man. I'm into those things. So plus you add in the Looney Tunes aspect to it, that could be a fun time to say the least. Let's see, Werewolf, WERWULF. That is coming out. I believe that's coming out towards the end of the year as well. Um, Robert Eggers, right? Maybe 100% wrong and talking out of my behind. No, Robert Eggers. Yes, Robert Eggers movie starring Aaron Tyler Johnson, Lily Rose Depp. So he's working with people that he tends to work with, coming out December 25th. William Dafoe, of course, is in it as well. Great cast. Interested in it, man. I like the stuff that Robert Eggers does. So can't wait to see what that turns out to be. And of course, Wolfman Rob here, right? So obviously we're talking werewolves. I'm interested. Dead Man's Wire. This is coming out pretty soon. I think it comes out within the next couple of weeks, or it's already out in the next week or so. Um, or this week. I don't know. I didn't write down release time because me. But Dead Man's Wire. This stars Bill Skarsgård. It's based on a true story. It's also got one of my favorite actors, Dacre Montgomery, in it. So I can't wait to see that. To see how that unfolds and all that stuff. It's a true story from, I want to say, 77, somewhere in the 70s, of a kidnapping that takes place because Bill Skarsgård's character was done wrong by Dacre Montgomery's character's father, if I remember that correctly. And that's just a crazy concept and all that stuff. You see the trailer and all that stuff. You see how hard headed the father is about everything, even though he knows what's going on. It's going to be an interesting, dramatic story, to say the least. And again, very talented actors with Bill Skarsgård and Dacre Montgomery there. Insidious. Apparently, we have a new Insidious movie coming out this world called The Bleeding World. Um, Insidious is one of those franchises that I haven't watched a lot. I don't go back to it too much, but I have enjoyed what I've seen of that universe. And that last movie wasn't too bad. What was it? It was the Red Door, right? Great Halloween Horror Nights house by all means. It featured all of them. It was like all of the Insidious houses, but the Red Door aspects were in there as well. Um, Such a good Halloween Horror Nights house. Can't wait to see what Halloween Horror Nights brings this year. I might have to do an Into the Fog episode of that. Talking out loud about stuff I may do in the future. But yeah, Insidious, The Bleeding World. We're getting a new Insidious movie this year. They Will Kill You. This is a movie that I think is also coming out pretty soon. I think March, if I'm not wrong about that. March, I think that's when that comes out. This movie feels very much like you've probably seen the trailer play on TV and all that stuff, starring Zazie Beetz and a lot of great cast. Patricia Arquette, Tom Felton, freaking Draco Malfoy's in this as well. But it feels very much like a Ready or Not movie. Like Hotel Artemis a little bit probably, but she's at this place and all that stuff. She's being offered up as a sacrifice and everything, and she's got to try to get through it. Kind of very Ready or Notish, right? Looks fun. Looks like it's gonna be an entertaining movie by all means. So I am interested in that. The Bride is also coming out this year. This is the Maggie Gyllenhaal film, directed film starring Christian Bale, and I'm blanking on the lady who's playing the bride, but Bale is playing um, Frankenstein, the monster, if you will. The Bride stars Jessie Buckley, who just won a Golden Globe earlier tonight, if I'm not mistaken. I remember hearing her name. Pretty sure, yeah, she won Best Actress for Hamnet tonight. So good for her, man. She's playing the bride of Frankenstein, Christian Bale's Frankenstein monster, all that stuff, man. It looks intriguing. There is some things about the trailer. I've only seen that one trailer that plays a lot in movie theaters, so I don't get the full aspect, but it does look interesting. I don't know if this movie's in black and white the whole time. I don't think it is. If it is, that's fine. I got no issues with that, but um, cool concept, looks fun, all that stuff. Obviously, Frankenstein over there talked about it last time I talked about Frankenstein and all that stuff. I like these characters. I like that world, even if it's not fully a new Universal movie. I don't believe this movie is Universal. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. Let's pull up the Google machine again. But yeah, I enjoy these characters a good bit. It's Warner Brothers, so Netflix, um, but which is wildly wildly insane because obviously Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein was also Netflix, but this movie is Warner Brothers, and I assume whenever Netflix takes over, it'll still be Warner Brothers type movie. What a mess that is. Let's see if that gets resolved in 2026 and how that all unfolds and how that works out. But that movie is coming out this year as well. I know people are hit and miss on this. The Strangers Chapter 3, that trilogy ends this year. I've been okay with those movies. I don't necessarily hate them. The main thing I enjoy about them is Madeline Petch's performance. They're okay. I think people are a little overly harsh on those movies, but that third one comes out this year and ends that trilogy that they're doing there. So we'll see how that all unfolds. And then Lee Cronin had a Mummy movie coming out this year that may have changed its name to The Resurrected. I really don't know. There's now being reports that there's a screening that James Wan, of all people, walked out of. So we'll end up seeing how that unfolds, if that is a good thing or not, or if that ends up happening. But yeah, that doesn't sound like good things are happening over there. But yeah, I looked it up, and it seems like it's changed its name to the Resurrected. So we'll keep tabs on that. Like, one of the things I want to do in 2026 with this channel is I want to talk news. I used to do that a lot with the Review It Rob show. I haven't done that show in a while. Really haven't done that format in a while, but I like just reviewing or talking about something and then just throwing it out there. So be on the lookout for more news stuff. That'll be like separate items that I talk about throughout the year as well. Of course, Halloween Horror Nights, Into the Fog stuff. But yeah, man, that's the movies coming out in 2026 that have my attention. Obviously, there's a lot of other movies that will be coming out throughout the year, and I can't wait to see what that gem that I stumble upon by accident. Not even by accident. That I'm in the movie theater and I see a trailer. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. That wasn't on my radar before. And then I end up watching it. Boom, top 5 favorite movie of the year for me. It happens. The last 3-4 years at least that has happened, man. So I can't wait to see what this year brings. But again, please drop in the comments what your highly anticipated movies of the year are. What you're looking forward to. Are you, wow, as I choke on my air, are you going to get any popcorn buckets this year? Do you think popcorn buckets will be anything of interest this year? What will happen? What movies will actually have them? We're going through that list. Didn't seem like a lot of them really play. There's a Toy Story movie coming out this year. It's not on my anticipated list by any means. That franchise is it's so weird. I grew up with that franchise, right? Because that first movie came out 95. Yes, because it did its 30th anniversary last year. So it came out in 95. So I was a kid, man, watching that movie, Toy Story 2. And Toy Story 3 happened. Fantastic trilogy. They ended it well. Didn't need to do anymore. And then they did another one. And didn't need to happen. And even my stomach even agrees if you heard that just then. It didn't even need to happen. And now we're getting a fifth one that apparently is them dealing with the kid now too interested in technology, which I believe is a thing that's happening in the world. I mean, Toys R Us closed down. I think Toys R Us is back though. But dealing with that, and apparently I've heard Tim Allen say it deals with Jesse's story, or it's a Jesse movie, which is fine. But like, how? I don't understand. So we'll have to wait and see how that movie unfolds. But yeah, there's a Toy Story movie coming. They had a popcorn bucket last year for their 30th anniversary deal. Wasn't something overly special from what I remember. The Rico one was just like a standard popcorn bucket and a standard cup with either Woody and Buzz on top. But you would think that would have something. And again, the comic book movies will probably have one. But other than that, man, I don't know. There's a live action Moana movie coming out this year as well. Now I'm thinking about it. Again, not on my anticipated list by any means, but that is a thing that's happening. They can probably get a popcorn bucket associated with it. That's where we're at, man. All right. So those are the movies that I at least jotted down that I'm interested in. Some I am highly anticipating, some that definitely have me intrigued. Again, let me know in the comments what you're thinking, what you're interested in this year, man. And that'll do it. That'll do it for this here episode. So as always, I like to remind you, you matter. You're capable of incredible things. Trust in yourself, believe in yourself, fight for your dreams. They'll fight for you. Go after those goals, and great things will happen for you, man. So again, be kind to yourself. Give yourself some peace. Give yourself some love, man. Believe in yourself. You do matter. And as always, thank you for taking the time to either watch this show on YouTube or listen to it wherever you listen to podcasts, man. I definitely appreciate it. I highly thankful, very thankful. I can't talk and I do a podcast, man. That means you can do it as well. But that is it for this. I never close these things out. It's always awkward. But there will be more stuff, obviously, talking movies, Halloween Horror Night stuff. Anything I feel like I want to talk about on the show is going to happen here on this YouTube and all that stuff. Video gameplay, maybe I'll actually do that. I always threaten to do that. But, anyways, that's it. Thank you for watching this show or listening to it wherever you listen to your podcast. Appreciate you. And we'll be back with more goodies here on Rob's Den.